This is still one of my favorites.
Well, let me ask you this before we get into some more serious stuff. Give me your best three you most proud of stories you either wrote for the Calling Post or anything. That you say, you know what, I did this and this was, I think, my best work.
I recently did a series of stories on racism as a public health crisis. I'm really proud of that. But I still remember one of my most memorable is I interviewed a Chief Justice from South Africa. That was really cool, and he had lost an arm in the fight for apartheid. This is still one of my favorites. He was considered the pie king. Pie as in 3.14.
Oh,
he was not pie eating pie. He was like in the top 75 people in the world who can recite the most sequential numbers of pi.
Okay.
I didn't even know pi went past 3.14.
Hey. And this was in Cleveland.
He was I wonder where this young man is. Going back to Calling Post, I was just like cranking them out, producing stories. But I still remember one of my most memorable is I interviewed a Chief Justice from South Africa. That was really cool, and he had lost an arm in the fight for apartheid.
Okay.
Lots of standout stories, but there was a young man who was probably like in the 6th grade. This is still one of my favorites. He was considered the pie king. Pie as in 3.14.
Oh,
he was not pie eating pie.
Dude was making pie.
No, this young man he was like in the top 75 people in the world who can recite the most sequential numbers of pi.
Okay.
I didn't even know pi went past 3.14.
Hey, you heard what I was thinking about when you said pi. And this was in Cleveland.
He was I wonder where this young man is.
Wow.
There was couple of
shout out to him.
There was a couple of
Museum
impact
Rhonda
stories.
You want to know what's happening with you.
I don't know where he is, but we dubbed him the Pie King.
Wow.
We put that story on the front page,
really?
Above the fold.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the types of things that Black press can do.
Mm.
I remember. Here's just a quick favorite story.
Yes, shoot.
So we would oftentimes get calls from majority PR people. And so I would have my little litmus test because, you can go get a story anywhere. Why you calling us?
Right.
To write. So we get a call from Boy Scouts of America. And she says to me, we are getting ready to graduate our Eagle Scouts. And I had to scratch my head because I said, I don't know too many young Black boys and Boy Scouts anymore these days, let alone making it to the status of Eagle Scout.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, do you have any Black boys in that group?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm not writing a story about that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, I don't know, let me check. She said, how many? I said, if you got one, call me back.
Okay.
She called me back. She had one.
Excellent.
This young man's name was Michael DeFeese. I will never forget him. He went to Benedictine High School. He was an Eagle Scout. He played football. Whatever was happening with his mother and father, he didn't even want to talk about that. He was being raised by his grandmother.
Okay.
And Mr. Quay Buick, who was heavy into Boy Scouts, was his mentor.
Wow.
And they came and they sat down and I interviewed this young man and he told me he wanted to be Secretary of State. And he was on his way to West Point. Those were the kind of stories that still stick with me to this day.
And that was one of the questions I was going to ask you is that with the loss of outlets like the Calling Post, Jet Magazine, and all these other places where you had an opportunity to put that information in there is now lost. What's the effect on us here locally as well as nationally?
Our stories don't get told.